My guest today is Pragito Dove. Pragito is a global authority on expressive meditation and founder of the #1 Expressive Meditation Training School in North America. An internationally recognized author, hypnotherapist, coach, and speaker with over 25 years of experience, Pragito helps entrepreneurs, leaders, and CEOs align their mindset to allow more peace, time, and financial freedom. Thanks so much for joining me today, Pragito.
You're welcome, Diane. I'm thrilled to be here.
I am thrilled to have you here. We are recording this toward the end of 2020, where the pandemic has really just wreaked havoc. I shouldn't laugh, it's not funny, but has really wreaked havoc on for so many reasons. And I think a lot of us small business owners are not necessarily feeling relaxed and peaceful. So I'm excited to talk to you about this subject. I think it's tremendously valuable. And I would like to start by asking you, how should we, or how can we manifest peace and prosperity and passion through, not just like the normal anxieties of life and business, but especially what we are going through right now?
Well, I think that what would help is to first understand what meditation is and what it is not.
Okay.
Meditation is not a technique. Meditation is a quality of presence and awareness that you can bring to any activity in any given moment. And I think what this pandemic has done, it's certainly done this for me, even though I've been studying and teaching meditation for almost 25 years now, is to take me even deeper inside, because our inner peace resides within us. And it's down in our center, 2 inches below the navel. That's where inner peace resides within us, and everybody has that quality. Everybody has that capacity. And when we remember, and that's the key word, when we remember to be fully present in the moment, then this helps us to tap into the peace and the joy and the love and the wisdom that is our essential nature. It's just that we forget the truth of who we are. We are all beings of joy, of love, of wisdom, of peace, and of creativity. Every child is born with that way. We all have a soul, and that's where it comes from. And we are basically spirits in a body. And when we remember to connect with that part of us, then it doesn't really matter what is going on the outside of us, pandemics and all kinds of chaos. We can remain calm and relaxed, even in the midst of chaos. And I guarantee you that is so. I can tell you from my own experience and the experience of many of my clients and students who have studied meditation. And I'm sure there's many people in the world who've studied meditation will tell you the same thing.
Okay, so I totally get that. I guess my question is, how do we remember? Because it feels like it's the kind of thing, I mean, is it just through, practicing it? Because it feels like when anxiety happens, all thought goes out the window, and the ability to really
Yes.
be sensible and
Yes.
reasonable goes out the window, right? So are there tricks to that? Are there techniques to
Yes.
pulling ourselves back?
Yes, absolutely. And this is a great question, Diane, because it's such a basic question. The thing is, first of all, you have to make a decision. I want to be more calm and relaxed on a daily basis. It has to be something you want. And then that is going to get you off to a great start. And then you have to make a practice every day. It's no good waiting till there's chaos and a crisis, because then it's going to happen exactly as you said, and everything goes out the window. So what you have to do is start the day. I would highly recommend starting the day with 10 minutes if you can, 5 minutes, depending if you have kids and what your early mornings are like, but give 5 or 10 minutes for yourself to sit with your eyes closed, to connect with yourself. Or another very powerful thing to do is to stand. If you have grass or if you have dirt somewhere near that you can stand with bare feet on the earth, this is the quickest way I know to get grounded, to bring the energy down from the head into the body. And that will help your body feel more calm and relaxed and peaceful, and therefore you will. So start the day however you can incorporate what I said, and then you could set an intention. Intentions being very powerful. Today, and I do this every day, by the way, even though I've been doing it for 25 years, I still do it every day because there's so much stuff going on to distract us. So set the intention. I want to stay in the present moment today. And just say that. And of course you won't, because the mind will take you into the future and the past. But just setting the intention will help your body, your heart, and your soul to remember to be in the present. And the good news is that a lot of the time we are in the present moment without realizing that is how much that is helping us. Because when you are fully focused on doing something and fully present with that activity, that is meditation, actually. So I'm sure a lot of listeners already know that quality of being present. It's just a matter of cultivating it and bringing it in more and more.
Wow, that's interesting. I like that. I like the whole idea of intention. It's one of my favorite words. And doing it daily so that you're not like caught off guard when craziness happens. So
exactly, it's the consistency. That word consistency is very important.
Yeah.
When you do it consistently, it kicks in for you. Because I've had this happen so many times to myself. When the chaos happens, your practice kicks in for you.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Okay. Now, I think a lot of small business owners and entrepreneurs struggle with judging themselves harshly, and especially those with other obligations like kids or parents who they're caring for or whatever, because there's like so much going on. So will you talk some about overcoming judgment and accepting ourselves as we are, and why that is so important?
Oh, yes, absolutely, because this is very important. Acceptance is the key. And we have to really understand judgment comes from the mind. And why are our minds full of judgments? because we inherit them from our forebears. That's why they're there, that they're passed on generation to generation. And it's unconsciousness that makes us judge ourselves and others. And so notice, or start to notice, when you feel you're being hard on yourself or very self-critical. And a good way to notice is when you judge others. I like this little technique. I use it myself. So if I notice that I'm having judgmental thoughts about another person, what that really means is I am judging myself. And then I bring it back on myself, and I bring in acceptance of myself and compassion. It's important to have great compassion for ourselves because of the fact we've inherited all these judgments. And they're not something we have deliberately, created to make our lives difficult. They're something that we've unconsciously inherited, and they were unconsciously passed on. And I think the racism in this country is a very good example of that, because what is racism but judgment? Saying other people aren't as good as us because of their color of their skin or their sexual orientation or whatever it is. This is all deep unconsciousness. And the more we can bring attention to it in our own minds, then the more light we are shedding on it within ourselves, and the more it will dissolve. So it's really becoming aware of it. I like to talk about, like, if you imagine you have the basement, in the basement of a house, and you never go down to the basement. But one day you go down there and you open the door and you turn on the light and it's full of cockroaches. And it's like, oh my God, I didn't know, we had all these cockroaches here. No, because you never went there to look and see what was in the basement. And so you can clean out the basement and get rid of all the cockroaches. And this is a little bit like what it's like to first start watching or witnessing what is going on in your own mind. You think, oh my God, I got so many judgments and all these things I don't want to look at. But the thing is, they've always been there, just like the cockroaches in the basement. It's just you weren't aware of it. And awareness is a master key to bringing your life more the way you want it, because you can't change something you're not aware of. So bring awareness to what is going on in your own head and your own mind. And there's a fabulous technique for that called witnessing the mind, created by Gautama the Buddha 25 centuries ago. And there's a reason this technique has lasted for centuries, because it works. And what you do when you could do this when you're doing your 5 or 10 minutes in the early morning. You can sit and witness the mind, become a witness to the mind. And again, consistency every day, because this is a practice. But what happens over time is this: you start to disidentify from the mind. You start to realize that the mind is just a mechanism in your head, and it makes stuff up out of fear. It makes all kinds of stuff up out of fear. And the more you can disidentify from it, then you are not so much at the effect of it. Because there's fear, judgment, comparison, and greed live in the mind. And it's such a powerful practice, because you can learn to be discerning, not believe all your own thoughts. Just let the thoughts pass by. No need to fight with them or force them to do anything. Just relax and watch the thoughts pass by. And then the more you become disidentified from the mind, the more your inner wisdom can be heard, because your inner wisdom is in a deeper place and has a softer voice. The mind can get very loud and be quite a bully, actually, to us. So it's a lot about understanding how the mind works, how to become free of the mind, because the ultimate freedom, I think, is freedom from the mind. And then we can listen to our inner wisdom, wisdom of the body, wisdom of the heart, and our spirit or our soul, and live our lives from that place of wisdom and compassion and joy and creativity and love and peace and acceptance.
I'm going to take a quick sponsor break and then I have some more questions for you. Accelerate Your Business Growth podcast is happy to be sponsored by Audible.com. Audible.com is a leading provider of spoken digital audio entertainment and information. They have thousands of titles to choose from, as well as podcasts, Audible originals, guided meditations, and more. One of my favorite audiobooks is Everyone Deserves a Great Manager by Scott Miller. For me, I love being able to listen to it anywhere and across my devices without losing my place. And I think you will too. So visit audibletrial.com/businessgrowth to explore the variety of audiobooks and programs for yourself.
Okay, this is so fascinating to me, because as you were talking about this, I kept thinking, I never would have thought that those things were products of the mind, because they feel like they're products of, I don't know, like emotion of the heart, I guess, that because when I think about like products of the mind, I think, okay, well, then that's unemotional. But fear and judgment and all those things feel like they're emotional, not thought driven. Yeah. This is amazing.
Well,
and that totally changes the dynamic of it.
Yes, well, they are thoughts, but the reason you might think they are emotions is because they can have emotions. They affect our emotions. Like if you get a thought passing across your mind about, oh, I hate this person, and you keep thinking about how much you hate this person, then you start having feelings of emotion of anger arising in you. This is how the thoughts can dictate our feeling state. Whereas the opposite can be true. If you send love to people, which is something I really recommend, just send, especially to people you don't like, just send them love. They don't have to know you're doing it. Then you become filled with love. If you have loving thoughts, if you have compassionate thoughts, you become filled with love and compassion, then you feel better. That's better than feeling all angry. And in terms of the heart only does one thing: loves unconditionally. That's all the heart does.
Yeah.
So the trouble is all from those four false friends, I call them, in the mind: fear, comparison, judgment, and greed. That's the four false friends, and they live in the mind.
Wow.
But when you understand that and understand how to start to disidentify from them, to not listen to them, just let them pass by, and use your, it's like taking mastery of yourself. Instead of being ruled by the mind, allowing the heart to be the master, because our rightful master is the heart, and the mind is the servant of the heart.
Wow. That's incredible. It is so liberating for me, because it just changes the whole way of, it feels like understanding that and knowing that means I get that then I have control over it.
Yes.
Where before, it felt like it just, came about and I didn't necessarily. So,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
we can take mastery of ourselves. It's just kind of unfortunate that this whole culture we live in is ruled by the mind
Yeah.
and not by the heart. And so for each one of us, really, our job is to come back to our heart and let the heart rule, and not
Right.
let the mind run rampant with all kinds of negative thoughts and nonsense. But we really can step in and take mastery. I mean, I guarantee it can be done, because I've done it. I used to think I was my mind. I used to think that's who I was. When I think back on it, I had no idea that that was just a mechanism in my head, But yeah, it's a fabulous journey because it's a very rewarding journey. It's an incredibly rewarding journey to take.
Yeah, it seems like it. Absolutely. So speaking of the mind and just being able to, make decisions and whatnot, I would really like it if you would talk to us some about the law of attraction, because for a couple of reasons. One, because I think it's misunderstood. And two, because, like I was always taught, and I feel like this is part of what you're saying, that what you focus on expands. So if you send love, you get love, right? That this is,
Yes.
If you focus on the negative, you're just going to get more of the negative. But I think people don't necessarily understand the law of attraction. So I would love it if you would talk about it and how people can use it for not just personal success, but business success.
Oh yes, absolutely. Well, I have a 3-step process that I can take you through. So the first step is to get clear on what you want. Because if you're not clear, then you're not going to get what you want. So get clear on what you want and understand how the law of attraction works. The law of attraction matches your energy. So only about 5% of us lives in the mind, and yes, you want to have positive thoughts, but 95% of us is in the subconscious, which is the body, the heart, and the soul. And the more you can keep yourself in a feeling state of positivity, like if we say on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being a very negative state of anger and frustration and so on, and 10 being the highest state of joy and love and creativity and so on, then you want to try and keep yourself up close, like an 8, 9, 10, somewhere up there. And so you have to be aware of, as we were just saying, of how the thoughts can create emotions. So you can have thoughts of love, creates you into a feeling state of love, which is what you want, or the opposite, angry thoughts take you down to a 1, 2, or 3. So understanding that what the law of attraction does, it matches your energy. That's all it does. It's a one-trick pony. All it does is match your energy. So if you don't like some aspect of your life, then look at what is your energy that you are transmitting in that particular arena. Maybe it's a family member, maybe it's a work colleague, maybe you're not getting as many clients as you want to get. Look at what is the energy that you are putting out, because that's a powerful part of it. So step 1 is, yes, be clear on what you want. Step 2 is start to put focus, because as you just said, what you focus on expands. Focus on what it is that you want. So, for example, if you want more clients for your business, then focus on a lot of outreach and networking and social media, ads, if you use ads, however you can let people know that you have room for some more clients, and keep yourself in that positive state, because people come to us by attraction. So you want to be in that positive state to attract your clients. And again, being clear on what you want. Do you want clients who are broke and complain all the time? No. You want clients who are appreciative and pay on time and do the work, whatever it is you're doing. So you know, can help to write a list of your ideal client. You might already have some ideal clients, and so things, just ask, say you want more like that, more clients like that. And now we come to step 3, and step 3 is where people often have difficulty with the law of attraction, because step 3 is about receiving and allowing. So what we do, get clear on what we want, we ask for what we want, and we focus on what we want. But you mustn't focus too much and get all needy and clinging and sort of desperate energy that it has to happen within a week or something like that, because then you create tension, and which is basically fear, and then you diminish your chances of it happening. So you have to find that place of trust. Trust that the universe will bring you what you're asking for, because the universe will bring you what you're asking for. But you have to be able to receive it. And this is where a lot of people have difficulty in receiving, especially women, I found, because we're all taught to give and give and give, which is great, but it's important to balance it with receiving. And this has been something I've really had to work on, because I never thought I had to learn to receive, but it turns out I did. And so you can start in small ways, like if someone offers to buy you a coffee, say, oh, thank you so much, instead of saying, oh, no, it's okay, I can pay for my own coffee, you know, and just brushing it aside. If someone offers to buy you lunch, oh, thank you, that's very kind, and receive it. So there's lots of small ways. If somebody smiles at you, smile back, receive their smile. When you're given a gift, of course, thank you so much, and really breathe. You have to breathe it in and receive, because giving and receiving is like a circle of energy. And if we don't really receive from the other person, they don't get the joy of giving. So receiving is important, because it's the other end of that circle of giving. We're denying that person the joy of giving if we don't accept their lunch, for example, when they've offered to buy us lunch. You can always take them out.
That's a great point.
You can always take them out for lunch at another time or something, but yeah, it's just all these little habits. We've got into the habit of not receiving. So receiving is important, so that you can receive all these new clients you want, the new car you want, the house you want, whatever it is. And you have to start expanding yourself, expanding your chest, expanding your heart. Yeah. And allowing. Allow it to happen.
Wow.
Because we can get so controlling, thinking we have to do everything. And this is the mind that is controlling. The mind does know nothing about trust. Because the mind wants to control everything. So this is where it's important, with that technique I explained about witnessing the mind, and really learning to let the thoughts of the mind pass by, so we don't get caught up in all the fear and all the judgments and all the attempts of the mind to try and control everything, because we can't control everything. We can control certain,
Right.
but when we can surrender to a higher power, whoever, whatever that is for each person, it's different for everybody. But when you can surrender and trust the universe that wonderful things will come to you, they will. They absolutely will. Because the universe wants us to be happy and abundant.
Yeah. Exactly. Right. That's right. And it's okay to be happy and have abundance. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's actually our natural state. Abundance is our natural state. Happiness is our natural state. So is love. I mean, we're all, I mean, just think of babies, you know, babies just love and they smile, they're full of joy, except when they're screaming because they're hungry or something, of course. But that's why everybody loves babies, because they have that joy and that love of life itself. And we were all born with that, and we all still have it inside us. It's just that we've forgotten, because we've become so conditioned and programmed with all this fear and judgment and comparison and greed that goes on. And we can get it back. We absolutely can get it back.
What a great message for as we come to the close of 2020. You know, that is just a great, powerful message. And I so appreciate you spending this time with me and helping us better understand this. I think it's very empowering and liberating. So thank you so much. And will you let the listeners know, you know, how they can find you and what you've got going on?
Yes, absolutely. My website is www.discovermeditation.com. And my new book, which was published just in the middle of August 2020, is Lunchtime Enlightenment, Expressive Meditations for Manifesting Peace, Prosperity, and Passion. And you can get that on Amazon. And everything I've been talking about today, you can read in greater detail in my book and find a lot more information on my website as well.
Excellent. I'll make sure I add a link to that in the show notes. Pragito, once again, thank you so much. Listeners, thank you. Like I said, I think this is a great way to ring out 2020 and ring in 2021. I'd also like to thank our sponsor. To get a free trial of audible.com and explore not only the audiobooks, but all the other programming that is available to you, please go to audibletrial.com/businessgrowth to sign up. And head on over to your favorite bookstore, online or in person, and pick up a copy of Succeed Without Selling. I think you, especially if you are a small business owner who struggles with the whole idea of selling, or pick it up as a gift for someone you know who you think could use it. As always, continue to prosper and be curious. And until we meet again on another episode of Accelerate Your Business Growth, goodbye and good day.